I woke up to a miracle today. Triggers fade as I find my way. No judgment to lead astray. In this peaceful state I'll stay.
Welcome. We're so glad you're joining us as we explore A Course in Miracles in Practice. Today we're looking at Lesson 194, I Place the Future in the Hands of God.
This one feels like such a turning point, spiritually speaking. And honestly, it's just such a comfort if you ever feel, completely overwhelmed trying to manage or predict everything.
Absolutely. Especially now, there's this sense of unease, and this lesson, I think, offers a genuine way through that.
It really does. It proposes a real solution, not just wishful thinking.
And if anything we discussed today sparks questions for you, or you want to share your own experiences, please reach out. Our email is acim@theworldharmonyproject.org.
We're also on TikTok and YouTube. Just search for @The World Harmony Project. We'd love to hear from you.
Okay, so let's start by reading the lesson itself. Lesson 194. I place the future in the hands of God. Today's idea takes another step toward quick salvation, and a giant stride it is indeed. So great the distances that it encompasses, it sets you down just short of heaven, with the goal in sight and obstacles behind. Your foot has reached the lawns that welcome you to heaven's gate, the quiet place of peace, where you await with certainty the final step of God. How far are we progressing now from earth? How close are we approaching to our goal? How short the journey still to be pursued? Accept today's idea, and you've passed all anxiety, all pits of hell, all blackness of depression, thoughts of sin and devastation brought about by guilt. Accept today's idea, and you have released the world from all imprisonment by loosening the heavy chains that lock the door to freedom on it. You are saved, and your salvation thus becomes the gift you give the world because you have received. In no one instant is depression felt, or pain experienced, or loss perceived. In no one instant sorrow can be set upon a throne and worshipped faithfully. In no one instant can one even die. And so each instant given unto God in passing, with the next one given him already, is a time of your release from sadness, pain, and even death itself. God holds your future as he holds your past and present. They are one to him, and so they should be one to you. Yet in this world, the temporal progression still seems real. And so you are not asked to understand the lack of sequence really found in time. You are but asked to let the future go and place it in God's hands. And you will see by your experience that you have laid the past and present in his hands as well, because the past will punish you no more, and future dread will now be meaningless. Release the future, for the past is gone, and what is present, freed from its bequest of grief and misery, of pain and loss, becomes the instant in which time escapes the bondage of illusions, where it runs its pitiless, inevitable course. Then is each instant which was slave to time transformed into a holy instant, when the light that was kept hidden in God's Son is freed to bless the world. Now is he free, and all his glory shines upon a world made free with him, to share his holiness. If you can see the lesson for today as the deliverance it really is, you will not hesitate to give as much consistent effort as you can to make it be a part of you. As it becomes a thought that rules your mind, a habit in your problem-solving repertoire, a way of quick reaction to temptation, you extend your learning to the world. And as you learn to see salvation in all things, so will the world perceive that it is saved. What worry can beset the one who gives his future to the loving hands of God? What can he suffer? What can cause him pain or bring experience of loss to him? What can he fear? And what can he regard except with love? For he who has escaped all fear of future pain has found his way to present peace, and certainty of care the world can never threaten. He is sure that his perception may be faulty, but will never lack correction. He is free to choose again when he has been deceived, to change his mind when he has made mistakes. Place then your future in the hands of God, for thus you call the memory of him to come again, replacing all your thoughts of sin and evil with the truth of love. Think you the world could fail to gain thereby, and every living creature not respond with healed perception? Who entrusts himself to God has also placed the world within the hands to which he has himself appealed for comfort and security. He lays aside the sick illusions of the world along with his, and offers peace to both. Now are we saved indeed. For in God's hands we rest untroubled, sure that only good can come to us. If we forget, we will be gently reassured. If we accept an unforgiving thought, it will be soon replaced by love's reflection. And if we are tempted to attack, we will appeal to him who guards our rest to make the choice for us that leaves temptation far behind. No longer is the world our enemy, for we have chosen that we be its friend.
Yeah, the first thing for me is how it just completely reframes time. It's not just saying, oh, don't worry about the future. It's suggesting the future we often fear.
Yeah.
It's part of the illusion we're learning to let go of.
Right. It's not something out there we have to wrestle into submission. It's a concept, a projection that we're holding on to now.
Exactly. And that leads straight into the second point, doesn't it? This idea of immediate peace.
Yeah.
It's not peace down the road when things get better.
No, it's peace available right now. The moment you place all of it, past, present, future, into God's care, it kind of short-circuits that whole waiting game we play.
Mm-hmm. And the third thing that really hits home is how directly it speaks to anxiety, depression, and loss. It states pretty boldly that these things dissolve the instant we stop using time as a weapon against ourselves.
Stop judging the past or dreading the future.
Yeah. The moment we give that up, that suffering loses its grip. It's quite a claim.
And finally, this idea that our trust, your trust, becomes a gift. It's not just about finding personal calm, though that's wonderful. It's that when you place your future in God's hands, you're actually extending that peace outwards. It affects everything.
It becomes this act of global healing almost.
Yeah.
You stop adding your fear to the pile, and instead you offer trust. It was reciprocal.
It's funny, though. Intellectually, I get it. But I still catch myself, trying to manage my little corner of the future, making sure the calendar is just so, or planning a conversation perfectly.
Oh, completely. That little internal clenching, that feeling of, okay, this needs to go this specific way. It's so subtle sometimes.
It is.
But I think over time, you get quicker at recognizing it. I can feel it now, that shift from trust into trying to control. Yeah.
And the ego always frames that control as vigilance, right? As necessary for safety. If you don't manage this, disaster.
Always. But the Course keeps pointing us back to this deeper truth. Peace doesn't come from predicting or controlling outcomes. It comes from releasing that need entirely.
Yeah.
That line, each instant given unto God is a time of your release from sadness, pain, and even death itself. It feels incredibly practical. When I actually do it, when I pause and consciously give this moment over, there's the tension just releases.
Yes. Even if nothing outside changes one bit, the internal landscape shifts, there's less friction. It really does feel like you stop arguing with time.
You do. You stop arguing with reality.
And it's interesting to watch how the mind uses the future as this sort of bargaining chip. Like, okay, if I worry enough, if I plan for every contingency, maybe I can avoid feeling uncertain.
Right. Negotiating with fear, basically. Yeah. But this lesson shows us the cost. The price of that illusion is our present peace. Always.
It never actually delivers what it promises, does it? That future-based security. That's why this feels like such an honest correction, not just new information.
Absolutely. And that phrase, a habit in your problem-solving repertoire, I've really seen that develop. It's not always some big epiphany. Often, it's just this steady, quiet choice.
Like brushing your teeth, you said?
Yeah, sort of like mental hygiene. It just becomes the default response over time rather than the exception.
And it's not that the temptation to grab the reins disappears entirely. Maybe it never does, but you become less susceptible, less convinced by its arguments.
You start to feel the cost of future tripping more acutely,
Right.
Not as punishment, but just as disconnection, a lack of peace. And that feeling itself becomes the reason to choose differently next time.
There's such a different quality of safety and surrender, isn't there, compared to the brittle safety the ego offers?
Totally different. And that's why that line, he is sure that his perception may be faulty, but will never lack correction. Oh, that feels like pure mercy.
It's huge relief. It means you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to get it right all the time. It's okay to misperceive, to forget. Correction is built in. It's part of the deal.
It's guaranteed. And then the ending. No longer is the world our enemy, for we have chosen that we be its friend. That shift from defense to offering peace.
Yeah, from seeing the world as something to manage or fear to seeing it as something to bless.
It changes everything. You operate from a different foundation entirely.
The Course keeps asking us to choose again. Not from perfection, but from that place that's free of fear. It's a continuous invitation.
It is. And every time you accept that invitation, every time you practice this, you remember. You remember what it feels like to be held. Instead of trying to hold it all yourself, you remember your strength isn't in control, it's in that connection.
That actually leads perfectly into a question we got from a listener. It really captures a feeling that seems widespread right now, they wrote.
Yeah.
What is happening to American humanity? I used to feel like people had some basic decency. Now it feels like we're unraveling. Is this something the Course speaks to, or is it just me? First off, definitely not just you feeling that sense of things fraying, of polarization, hardness. It feels very palpable lately, doesn't it?
It does. There's a lot of unease.
And the Course definitely speaks to it, maybe not in terms of specific politics or social trends, but in terms of the underlying energy. It suggests that what we're often seeing is fear. Fear being brought to the surface, getting amplified, getting projected outward.
Yes. The Course teaches that the ego gets louder, more defensive, more reactive when it feels threatened or like its foundation is shaking.
Right.
And the world, being a reflection of the mind, starts to act out that collective fear more visibly. But the crucial insight from the Course is that the fear isn't new. It was always there under the surface.
It's just surfacing now.
Exactly. Surfacing so it can be seen, acknowledged, and ultimately brought to healing rather than just reacted to.
And that's where this lesson, 194, becomes incredibly practical, doesn't it? Place the future in the hands of God. Because the alternative is we unconsciously place the future in the hands of fear.
And then fear absolutely runs the show. Despair creeps in, cynicism, outrage. And our actions tend to come from that place. They become reactions driven by fear.
But the moment we consciously choose to release our fearful predictions about what's coming, about how bad it's all going to get,
we reclaim the present. And in the present is where clarity lives, where peace lives, where guidance can actually be heard.
It's not pretending everything's rosy or avoiding any kind of response.
Absolutely not. The Course is never about inaction in that sense. It always brings us back to the source of our actions. The core question is always, which teacher am I listening to right now?
Am I acting from that churning fear, that panic, that need to blame or fix?
Or am I pausing, connecting inward, and acting from guidance, from that quieter, more centered place of peace, even amidst the chaos?
That's the critical distinction. And the Course is remarkably consistent in not telling us what the form of the response should look like.
Never. It doesn't say protest or don't protest, speak up or stay silent, intervene or step back.
It just says, let that initial ego-driven, often fearful reaction pass through you. Don't grab onto it. Pause. And then listen. Listen for a different voice.
A voice that doesn't rush you, doesn't operate from defense or accusation. And then from that quieter space, choose again how to respond.
So when we place the future in God's hands, we're not becoming passive puppets.
Instead, we adopt a posture of humility. We say, okay, I actually don't know what anything is for. I don't see the big picture.
Show me.
Show me how to see this differently. Show me how to be genuinely useful here without just adding more fear or conflict into the mix. It feels vulnerable, but it's actually where real strength comes from.
And the guidance that comes from that space might look like stillness sometimes, just holding a space of peace.
Or it might be a very specific, gentle conversation. Or maybe recognizing that stepping away from a particular conflict is the most helpful action right then.
But the key difference is that the action isn't fueled by panic or outrage. It's informed by an underlying peace, and that changes everything about its effect.
The lesson touches on this directly. If we are tempted to attack, we will appeal to Him who guards our rest to make the choice for us.
Right there. Appeal to Him. Make the choice for us. It's about pausing that automatic reaction.
Stop trying to decide alone, especially when feeling triggered or fearful. This lesson, it's so relevant because it offers a way to meet the world's apparent pain and chaos differently.
To respond from a mind that's recentered in love, grounded in peace, instead of just being jerked around by the latest fear headline.
Exactly. Remembering that correction is always available and fear doesn't get the last word unless we give it.
So for listeners thinking, okay, I get the concept, but how do I actually do this day to day? Let's break down some practical steps.
Yes, let's make it really concrete. Think of it like building a new mental muscle.
Okay, step 1, catch the clutch. Just start by noticing. Noticing that feeling of bracing inside. When you find yourself mentally forecasting, planning defenses, trying to fix something that hasn't even happened, that tension is your signal. Step 2, acknowledge the fear, gently. Don't judge it or try to shove it down, just name it. Okay, I'm feeling afraid this might happen, or I'm scared about that uncertainty. It's not about wallowing, it's just awareness.
Step 3, use the lesson's core line. This is key. Silently, or even whispered if you're alone, say, I place the future in the hands of God. and really try to mean it as much as you can in that moment.
We're not making some grand promise. You're just interrupting the ego's panic cycle. Say it again if you need to.
Step 4. Let the moment settle. Resist the urge to immediately jump to the next thought or plan. Allow yourself to be still for a breath or two. Feel what it's like, even momentarily, to hand over the reins. Notice any spaciousness that might open up.
Step 5. Ask, don't decide. Instead of demanding an answer or formulating a strategy, gently ask an open-ended question inward. What would you have me see here? Or maybe, how would you have me show up in this situation? Let the answer arise. It might be a feeling, an insight, a sense of calm, not necessarily words.
Step 6. Move from the schist. If an action feels clear and comes from that quieter place, then take it. But take it from clarity, not tension. If what arises is simply stillness or a sense of peace, honor that too. Remember, the source matters more than the specific form of the action.
Step 7. Repeat. And this is crucial. Repeat this process throughout your day. Every time you catch yourself grabbing the future back, worrying, trying to control, use it as a reset button. This isn't a one-and-done thing.
Exactly. It's a habit you're consciously building, reinforcing that pathway back to peace with every choice.
So, wrapping up our exploration of Lesson 194, I place the future in the hands of God. It really comes down to this. It's not about checking out of life.
Not at all.
It's about checking in, but checking in with a different guide, a different inner wisdom.
Right. When we make that conscious choice to stop handing our future, our present moment really, over to fear, we interrupt the cycle. The automatic reactions of panic or guilt or needing to control everything start to lessen.
It changes how we perceive things, how we show up. And sometimes, yes, the actions we take are different too, but the course's focus is always on learning to listen first.
Listening from that place of interconnection.
And there's a profound safety in that, a kind of rest that isn't dependent on external circumstances going our way. When our trust is placed in something deeper than outcomes, we just become more available for truth, for love, for being genuinely present. And that presence, that's what actually contributes to healing, both for ourselves and the world.
Beautifully said. So maybe a simple practice for you, the listener, today, just once or maybe a few times, when you notice yourself bracing, predicting, trying to manage something ahead of time, pause.
Just pause.
Take a breath. Silently affirm, I place this in the hands of God. And then let that moment be. Don't rush to fix anything. Just allow the stillness, allow the correction, the peace to arise from within.
And perhaps carry this simple thought as an affirmation. I trust the one who goes with me. I place this day and all that follows in love's care.
Next time, we'll be looking at Lesson 195. Until then, if you have questions or reflections sparked by today's discussion, please send them our way.
Find us on TikTok and YouTube at the World Harmony Project. We're truly grateful to be exploring these ideas with you. Thank you for joining us.
Until next time.